Is there Mr. Al Wolser? The old muffle mic. All right, how about the Indians? Looked good last night, looked like crap today. I'm pretty sure, was that a YouTube game? The MLB specials? Oh, that's why you had it on in there. I got you. Yeah. Very good, very good. Man, hey. Hey, Mo, I do. Ba-ba-ba-da-bum.
Ethnic intimidation charges. One local city is taking a stand against racism after a white man harassed a mixed-race woman. We have the latest on the investigation.
Cleveland's time to shine, and we don't want this to be a bad news story 1 week later.
A local doctor weighs in on the safety measures you need to take to protect yourself from COVID if you're going downtown for the NFL draft. Plus, we have a first look at all the fun events for you.
The Comeback City. Leon Bibb shows us all the obstacles our city and the Browns have busted through to get to where we are today.
Then meet the NFL ambassador. It's a title Mike Polk Jr. gave himself. His mission, to get people hyped for the big event. What's New starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And hello again, Northeast Ohio. Welcome to another installment of What's New. It is, believe it or not, Betsy, the final Wednesday of April.
It snuck up on us.
Again, poof, just like that. It's gone. It's also the eve of the NFL draft. We've been counting that down now for better part of a month. Along with Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. Thanks so much for choosing What's New. Betsy, a very good Wednesday afternoon to you.
And to you, too. You can definitely feel the heat in the air, not just because the draft is in town, but the humidity, too. We are keeping a very close eye on the radar. Matt Wintz will be along in just a few minutes with an update on that forecast. Nothing on the radar in the immediate future, though.
Well, that's good to hear. Boy, what a difference a few weeks makes, right? At the beginning of the month, crews were just beginning their setup of that NFL draft stage. But now the stage is up, and it is spectacular, I might add. Cleveland is now ready for its national close-up.
Well, this isn't just a big deal for the athletes, it's a big deal for fans too. And there are activities that fans can take part in starting tomorrow. Will Hewitt gives us a first look at what they are and where they are happening.
If you don't get a chance to go to a Super Bowl, which is a bucket list thing for so many people, this is sort of your chance to see a taste of what the NFL produces.
The NFL hopes that taste satisfies everyone, from a clinic for kids to learn football drills to field goal and passing accuracy test, all going on inside First Energy Stadium during draft weekend, regardless of weather.
Just like at a Browns game, we play in the rain. So we're going to be open, rain or shine.
Outside the stadium, fans can test their 40-yard dash times against a virtual Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, or see what kind of ups they have. There's also a taste of Cleveland set up outside the Science Center with food and beverages, as well as a mock locker room, or mocker room, with nods to all 32 teams and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Everything within shouting distance of the main stage, which is exactly what the NFL wanted.
As it's evolved, we realized having us all together, having all the main stage activity and all the football festival assets together has really been critical to our success.
The NFL experience is free, but due to COVID capacity limits, fans need to make a reservation on the NFL One Pass app. Also due to COVID, masks are required for anyone ages 2 or older, and there's a clear bag policy, just like there is at First Energy Stadium during Browns games. And if you're worried about missing the actual draft while inside, they'll have mobile screens set up showing the main stage entertainment, as well as showing the whole thing on the Jumbotron.
There's still an experience that you can have, even if it's on Friday or Saturday. Something for everybody and very accessible.
So the NFL experience opens tomorrow at noon and goes all the way through the last pick. It'll be open on Friday and Saturday as well. Jay, Betsy, they were asked about why Cleveland. What was it that sold you on the city? And they point blank said it was the fans. They knew that they'll probably never get a Super Bowl here because of the climate and the open stadium. So they wanted to bring them something they thought the fans would really enjoy having the draft experience here this year.
Yeah, very nice. Hopefully the NFL will like us enough to bring it back sometime very soon, because obviously Cleveland's not going to get the full NFL draft experience like we saw in Nashville 2 years ago, 500,000 visitors. So maybe we could be on their radar within the next decade or so. It'd be fun.
Well, Jay, it's funny. They were asked about that. They planned the draft about 2 years out. Would they bring it back to Cleveland? And they said, you know, it's possibility. I mean, they have some other ones lined up, and they want to make sure that a lot of other cities get a turn. But Cleveland could be on the possible docket as a future draft experience and draft prospect as well.
Well, we certainly know how to put on a good show. We'll say that. And so far, the weather's been cooperating. Come on, weather, right? All right. Stay dry out there, Will. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay. All right, now on your feet at 5, with the fun comes safety protocols. We can't forget about that. Even though 39% of Ohioans have received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine, we are still in a pandemic. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, joins us now. Monica, a very good Wednesday afternoon to you. If fans plan to head to the draft over the next 3 days, what do they need to do to protect themselves against COVID-19?
Well, Jay, they're not going to get very far into the NFL experience if they don't follow those basic guidelines. You may not realize this, but the NFL has spent a significant amount of money on research into the spread of this virus, as well as identification and contact tracing for those who may have been infected. And they've shared that information with the medical community. So believe me, they are serious about safety.
It's important that they have those restrictions in place, and it's important that we obey those restrictions. All right. This is also a give and take. If you really want something like this, you got to make sure that we're all bought into doing everything that we can to prevent this transmission.
Now, those safety protocols are not things we're not already used to, but there are some things you do have to know. As Will mentioned, everyone aged 2 and up must wear a face mask. And don't even think of wearing one of those plastic shields without wearing a mask under it. Or you can't wear a mask with a vent. They're not allowed either. And they'll be keeping people 6 feet apart, and they'll have directional signage you're expected to follow. And those who are lucky enough to get up close and personal to the stage, well, they're by invitation only and must be fully vaccinated. And Jay, I'll have more on these protocols coming up tonight at 6.
Very good. Monica, you mentioned they've done a lot of research on this. Really, the Super Bowl was sort of the test for the NFL draft. They had all those protocols in place. They had the Super Bowl safely. Yep. It went off well, and that's what allowed fans to be at this week's NFL draft. So we're tested. All right, Monica, thank you very much. If you're planning on heading downtown to any of the draft events, you should really check out our NFL draft guide on WKYC.com beforehand. It has everything you need to know, where the stage is located, where all of these events that we've been showing you are, and what time they are available to fans. There's also info on how you can get live updates on everything that's happening throughout the next 3 days. Bets?
In other news today, turning now to Stow, where a white man has been charged with ethnic intimidation for yelling obscenities at a black woman. Tonight, the police department is speaking out about the incident. Our Romney Smith joins us. And Romney, people yell and holler at each other out in public all the time, scuffle and whatnot. But this definitely goes above and beyond the line.
Oh, yes, this was very clearly different. It was, in fact, so bad, Betsy, that we're not even going to show it because we'd have to bleep and blur so much of that video due to the extreme language and the hand gestures. So according to these documents from the Stow Police Department we got today, Kiana Larkin, a black woman, was delivering food to an apartment in the Wyndham Ridge apartment complex when she was verbally attacked following a traffic altercation. James Rhodes, a white man, got out of his vehicle and started shouting obscenities, expletives, including the B word, the F word, and the N word. He also threatened to use his gun to kill her because of her race. Now, Larkin recorded it on her cell phone, and Rhodes now faces a charge of aggravated menacing and ethnic intimidation.
And when you can determine that race, color, religion, or national origin was the reason behind the matter at hand, or had to do with the crime at hand, then it enhances the crime and is actually a standalone charge in the state of Ohio.
Now, the Wyndham Ridge apartment complex where he lived and where this incident happened actually gave him a notice to permanently leave their property, and he agreed to move out. I reached out to the victim today. I never actually heard back from her, but police say that they're glad she came forward and that the entire community stands behind her. And I'll elaborate how coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. But Betsy, this was clearly very differently than someone just upset in the moment. This was very blatantly racist.
And on tape, another very big piece of this one, certainly. Thank you so much, Romney, for that. Still ahead for us here on What's New, Britney Spears will speak up for herself. We have the latest details in the battle over her conservatorship.
Then they don't call us the comeback city for nothing. Our Leon Bibbs shows us all that the Browns have had to overcome, and it is a lot. And Matt Wintz is back today. Hello to you, Matt. What's going on in the forecast?
Well, hi, Jay Crawford. We'll start with a look at the CSU cam right now, showing a pretty quiet scene across Cleveland. It's muggy outside. It feels like summer, but no storms yet. Your outdoor dining forecast for tonight, well, we run the risk of storms. I think things are going to fill in on the radar as we go throughout the evening hours. It will remain warm, and then things change. We'll talk about all the rain, and we'll time it out for the next several days coming up.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. Looking forward to hearing from you again. And now we're heading west for this Save Our Sauce at the winery there in Kelly's Island. How about Kelly's Island Wine Company? It's a family-run winery that's been around in some form or another for about, well, let's see, a lot of years, since the 1980s. It's known for its fruit wines. I'm bad at math. When hunger strikes, there's a full menu of pizzas and flatbreads, burgers, and shareable plates. For more on this winery and a list of others, check out Doug Tratner's guide on WKYC.com/SaveOurSauce. We'll be right back.
Well, there it is, kids. You are looking at the epicenter of the NFL world for the next 3 days. In fact, you're looking at the biggest NFL draft stage in draft history. You see it in the background there. And it may be the biggest NFL draft stage ever. We told you yesterday, it's much bigger than normal because of COVID. They need to make room for social distancing on that stage. And by next year at that time, social distancing likely won't be a thing. So the stage won't need to be as big. I was downtown earlier this afternoon. I can tell you they were doing sound checks. Video monitors were popping, and it was electric. It's going to look incredible on TV over the next couple of days.
Yeah, a lot of folks are saying that looks an awful lot like the Goodyear Air Dock, the old air dock in Akron. So, you know, we'll kind of play up that homage a little bit. The blimp supposedly is going to be up doing aerial coverage, but well, it's all weather dependent, of course. And, you know, everybody is so excited to have the draft here, and it's Browns fever all over again. The hometown crowd, there's nothing better. And joining in on all the hometown draft excitement is one of our favorite Browns fans himself, Leon Bay.
Yeah, Leon is always passionate about all things CLE, and he is certainly caught up in the celebration around the NFL draft.
For a few days, the key hub of the sports world will be Cleveland. The NFL draft is calling its plays here. In the huddle are decision makers from 32 NFL teams and some college stars looking to be tapped into the big time. Cleveland is giving the royal treatment for NFLers and the worldwide TV transmitting media. Even the city's lakefront skyline has changed with an amphitheater for draft headquarters. Call your out-of-town folks and tell them, hey, tune us in. Football's the game, but the money is as green as the game's turf. The NFL is not shy about putting big cash on the Cleveland scrimmage line. Downtown hotels, restaurants, and other establishments figure they'll also victory dance in the end zone.
Now, I'm a fan of both Cleveland and the Browns. My town, hey, my team. Greater Cleveland, and that means Akron and Canton and Lorain, Ashtabula, all of us in Northeast Ohio. We are running up the score. We're in this thing together. Cleveland, the draft, the center of the sports world.
We're the comeback city because we've had to get up over the years from rough tackling, but we've been coached up and can make some yardage. For several years, Cleveland has been moving upfield. Let's go to a videotape replay. In 2016, we showed the Republican National Convention we could handle the big stuff. Same now for the 2021 NFL Draft. I know we've had some yellow flags tossed, like in '95 when an owner hustled our team out of town. But Cleveland political big shots and everyday fans broke from the huddle, pushing a gutsy offense, which pressed the NFL to give us back our Browns name, colors, and history. All the while, we muscled in a new football stadium. Brother, that's gutsy. That's how we do it. The NFL knows Cleveland. That's why the league is here for the draft.
Now take it from me. We here in Cleveland play it high and tight. Football, we know, yes, but we also have the political and the business savvy of a city. The offense, the defense, and the special teams. You put that together with 75 years of Cleveland Browns history, and we've got the NFL draft this year. Brother, this is who we are. We're the comeback city. This is what we do. For 3 News, I'm Leon Bibb.
You gotta love Leon's excitement about Cleveland.
Definitely, and you know, it's so cute because he's got a story about every single event that's ever happened in Cleveland because he's covered it, right? And it's just so fun to hear him kind of thread things together and the way he recalls one thing and everybody goes, oh yeah. When you sit to have a conversation with Leon, you have to plan time for that because it sparks an idea in you and then he comes back with something and you give him an idea and it just goes back and forth. Just a joy, but certainly the embodiment of all the excitement that all of us are feeling. There's a lot of point of pride that's taking place too. You know, an interesting thing about this whole weather side of the draft, I know a lot of people are poo-poo and crying about the rain and, you know, we can't show off weather and whatnot. I'll tell you what, in 2016, the draft was held in Chicago. And the temperatures were in the mid-40s. It was raining, and they had 20-mile-per-hour winds coming off the Lake Michigan. So believe you me when I say we're going to be in the 50s, and we're going to have some rain, and we're going to have some wind coming off the lake. But hey, it's still better than Chicago at that point.
I was there, and I do remember one of the days was very cold, but I also remember, I think it was Saturday, the last day of the draft, was sunny and beautiful.
Gonna happen here too.
And so we can keep our fingers crossed that we can wrap this thing up with a beautiful weather day. Matt, normally Cleveland fans worry about drafting a bust, and that's your weather word today. I don't think we're worried about that because we don't have the #1 pick, so there's not as much attention on it. But bust is your weather word on this pre-draft day.
Got it. All right. Awesome, Jay, for sure. Hey, guys, just a heads up. There's a fly down here in the basement flying around. I just saw that thing land. It's like the size of a baseball. I don't know what's happening down here, but something mutated, maybe ate some of my plant chemicals.
It's a kitty litter.
So if it lands on my face or anything, Betsy, you just take up with the forecast where we left off for sure. All right. It's a warm day outside. We all knew that. Once again, we were up into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. A little bit cooler where we've had a little bit rain out towards the east. But we've not only got the warmth today, we've got the humidity. That humidity has been creeping up since the early morning hours. We're just waiting here. We've got enough lift in the atmosphere off towards our west, but locally not enough to really lift things up and create those thunderstorms. We had a little bit of energy earlier, creating some storms out towards Ashtabula County. Those have since gone by the wayside and down towards the south. That's really the only downpours we're tracking. Likely some hail with this one, just south of Newcomerstown there. Everything heading off towards the east, Dover, New Philly. Actually, Dover should be okay, but New Philly's going to get some rain here that is now over the Stone Creek area. But things were changed. We will not escape the rain as we go throughout the evening hours. Here's why. We've got a frontal boundary off towards the north. What I would keep my eye on if you are a radar watching junkie like I am, watch this activity towards Chicago. See how it's starting to build off towards the west? There's pretty good energy in this area here, so we may see a line of storms develop and move in this evening. Bottom line, we are going to get some rain tonight. We could see some heavier rain as well. I think our severe threat will start to come down once that sun goes down. But look at the atmospheric river of moisture. There's an upper level low back towards New Mexico. That is just basically pinwheeling this moisture our way. We've got, as I mentioned a couple days ago, a washout, I think, on Thursday. Hopefully things will clear up just in time for the draft. This is all in the periphery, in the northern periphery of that warmer air as it settles towards that frontal boundary. Our pattern tomorrow, Betsy mentioning that wind off the lake. Look what happens north of this boundary. Wind coming off the lake, much cooler near the lake shore. Chicago, Indiana, feeling that now, that wind off the lake. Much cooler, just kind of a raw day north of that front. That's where we're headed. So tonight, oh, there we go. Not going to be too mild of a night. You can see the rainfall chances coming and going overnight tonight. I think we'll have some rumbles in there as well. Your National Design hour-by-hour forecast. You can see as we go through time, if we don't get rain tonight, it'll be a big bust in the forecast. We'll just say that. But we're pretty much going to see that rain as we go throughout the overnight. Pretty decent rain. We need it. We haven't had rain in 6 days around here. We've got pollen sitting on everything, so likely green puddles tomorrow morning. So here we go through draft day. We'll be coming and going with these showers and a couple rumbles down towards the south, but notice that winds off the lake. Temperatures will hold in the 50s north, likely 60s south of Akron before we all come down tomorrow evening. But look, the latest models have cleared us out nicely for the draft, so if we can get all this rain around out out of here early, we'll be okay. Friday looks dry as well, maybe an early shower. We'll take a look at that. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. Yeah, it's cooler tomorrow. Let's get the rain out. Friday lingering shower early. Saturday looking great at this point, kind of like that Chicago draft. We're back into the 70s. And boy, we'll take another look at that in the next half hour. But Betsy, next week is looking wet around here. So hopefully by this time next week, we'll be saying what drought?
Yeah, exactly. Remember, we were really concerned about that. And I think, Matt, that you set us up for this, quite honestly. So I'll continue to blame you.
Okay, great.
Thanks so much. We'll see you again in about a half hour or so. Still ahead on What's New, Alicia Keys' son got her musical talent. Wait until you hear him play the keys with his mom as backup singer.
Then, what do you think happens next? This little guy is going to run the wrong way on the bases. He's going to just sit down on the field, or he's going to run into the stands. We have the answer. It's our Worth the Watch, and it's coming up.
Well, Britney Spears is back in entertainment headlines as she plans to speak for herself in court this summer on her controversial conservatorship. Kara Cotton has all the details on that and more in today's Pop Break.
After years of fans screaming "Free Britney" without much response, Britney Spears plans to speak for herself. According to her attorney, the 39-year-old will discuss with the court directly the status of her conservatorship. She hasn't spoken out since trying to remove her father, Jamie, as conservator in August of last year. The hearing is scheduled to take place Wednesday, June 23rd. And Alicia Keys has passed on her musical genes to her son, Egypt. She shared a video to Instagram yesterday of her 10-year-old son going to work on the piano. Together, the two performed a rendition of Annie Lennox's "Sweet Dreams Are Made of This." Keys captioned the video, "I love being a part of his practice, and I love being his background singer. He is making magic." And with the legendary singer as a mom and an iconic producer as a dad, how can this kid go wrong? And Willow Smith has come a long way since whipping her hair back and forth. The now 20-year-old is taking on a punk persona in her new song, Transparent Soul, featuring Blink-182's Travis Barker on the drums. Dressed in all black with combat boots and a spiked collar, the video for this song shows a more bold and free Willow. Sharing the new song on Instagram, Smith wrote, "I am so grateful and excited to start this new journey. Let the vibes come in." You know, sometimes you just have to switch things up. Willow's album is expected to be released this summer. Back to you guys.
All right, Kiara, thank you very much. Right now, time for our Worth the Watch. Remember, before the break, we asked you what this little guy is going to do next. Betsy, any guesses?
There's not a D, all of the above again.
No.
I'm going to say he runs the wrong way.
Runs the wrong way. Okay, let's roll the tape. See what happens. Just reached first on a single bets, and then he happened to catch Grandpa in the stands.
Aww.
And he wants to go give Grandpa a hug. Because he's so excited about his base hit. Oh. Then he goes back to first. Now, by then, the batter walked, and he's coming to first base.
Uh-oh.
So now the young guy gets to go down to second. I just think that's adorable.
Oh, my goodness.
I really do.
And I can only imagine that Grandpa's heart just about burst and popped out of his chest and just, oh, my boy.
Everybody was probably like, where's he going?
So cute.
Grandpa knew.
Aw.
Great moment.
J-Pop, you getting a little misty-eyed on that one?
Yeah, because that's good. Yeah, that's one day I'll be on the other side of that hug, I hope.
Yeah, you will. All right, everybody, coming up, we are rocking the clock. The Browns released a new NFL draft hype video. We're going to show it to you. Coming up and clicking in Cleveland.
Plus, Will Uick's back. He's going to join us previewing the big NFL draft experience that all kicks off tomorrow. And Mike Polk Jr. declared himself the NFL draft ambassador. Well, of course he did. You're going to hear how he's hyping everyone up ahead of the big event.
Check 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Will Uick outside First Energy Stadium where we're trying to block off the Channel 5. Okay.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, welcome back, everybody, on this NFL Draft Eve edition of What's New. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford.
I was downtown earlier this afternoon, and Bets, you can tell that something big is happening. The Indians played earlier today, by the way. They got destroyed by the Twins after a nice effort last night. But you can feel it. You know how you know what I'm talking about when there's a big game or a big event. Just things feel different. And there's a lot of buzz, a lot of activity. And tomorrow at this time, you're really going to feel it when you're downtown, because that's when the crowds are really going to start to arrive in mass.
Yeah, lots of people down milling around, getting pictures, and it's a great energy. Parking, you can't find parking.
No.
We have had complete open parking in downtown Cleveland throughout the pandemic practically, and now all of a sudden you can't find a parking spot, so plan on that if you're coming down.
It was tough finding one today. All right, Bets, we begin at 5:30 with 3 things you need to know. We start with the former Columbus police officer accused of killing Andre Hill in December. He pled not guilty in court today. Adam Coy faces a charge of reckless homicide. That will be merged with indictments on charges of murder and felonious assault, which were filed back in February. Hill was unarmed when he was shot in a garage late in December. Coy's next court appearance is set for June 7th.
A national hero has passed today. NASA reported today that Apollo 11 astronaut Michael Collins has died after battling cancer. Unlike Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, Collins didn't walk on the moon. Instead, he stayed behind and piloted the command modules that orbited above. Collins was 90 years old.
And Ohio announcing 1,723 new cases of the coronavirus today. And as our daily number continues to go down, so too does that 2-week average, which is now down 35 more cases today from yesterday. Our average now at 1,646 cases. That number has come down more than 350 in just the last 10 days. Cases really trending downward. Our cases per 100,000 also down, now at 161. That number is an approximation. The state should be releasing that official number tomorrow. But vaccines continue their slowdown. We had just 20,000 Ohioans get their first shot yesterday. That's down from a daily high of 110 vaccinations in one day about a month ago. Our total is now just over 4.6 million, which is just under 40% of Ohio's total population.
Now on to our top talker. And man, yesterday I was all fired up to sing this and I never got to. I don't know if I'm ready to do it today, but...
Are you going to get stage fright?
No, look, okay, I'll do it. It's the final countdown. There you go.
I'll provide the...
You're my backup. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, it's day 1, round 1 that starts tomorrow, and fans in and around downtown Cleveland could not be more excited.
Well, today we got a first look at some of the activities that fans can expect to see when they're out and about downtown. Will Hewitt joins us again live now from downtown Cleveland. Will, good afternoon to you again. What fun things will there be to do for all the folks coming to the draft tomorrow?
Well, unfortunately for Betsy, there will not be karaoke. At least that's not what I've heard today. It's going to be more of like an amateur NFL training camp, if you can envision that. They have it spaced out so they can keep people at a distance. You could do that too. I think I kind of saw visions of Betsy kicking a field goal today. I thought she would be good at that. So you can do the field goal kicking, guys. You can do passes, the Hail Mary, to see how accurate you are. They have training drills for kids. They also have some photo opportunities inside, outside the stadium. It's a 40-yard dash where you go against Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry to see how fast you are compared to them. The vertical jump to see how high you can get. And then over on the side, they also have a taste of Cleveland with a lot of different food and beverage that you can sample from around the city and around the area, as well as a locker room or mocker room. It's like a mock locker for all 32 teams with different players and gear in there, as well as a little bit of a exhibit from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So really, they tried to create a football festival outside of the draft experience. And again, this is all free. The only caveat there is because of COVID, you have to RSVP. You have to get that NFL One app and find a session that has some openings and get in if you want to do it.
All right, well, if fans are having fun, they're downtown, they're not at the stage, how are they still going to be able to see what's going on the main stage?
Yeah, good question, Betsy. They know that people want to come and do this stuff, but they also want to be here for the main event and see what's going on. Not just the draft picks, but the concerts there. So they're going to have mobile screens set up all down here, as well as the Jumbotron inside the stadium, showing it all. So you can be down there kicking a field goal and then turning around to see who the Browns picked, or throwing a long pass and turning around to see a concert. So they're trying to make it one-stop shop, all-inclusive, all down here on the Lake Erie shorefront.
All right, very good. If you want to see who the Browns pick, you may have to stay up late tomorrow, because if all the teams use their allotted time in the first round, that could happen sometime after 11:30 tomorrow night. Hey, that's one of the good things about being a good team.
That's true.
You know, you don't have to have the pressure of the first pick, but the bad part, you pick very late in that first round, and that's late on that first night. Will, thank you so much. Have fun down there. We appreciate it. Coming up next on What's New, if you have plans to attend the NFL Draft, we're going to tell you all the details of what's in those swag bags. That's coming up in Clicking in Cleveland.
I didn't even know there were swag bags, so I'm so excited to see what that is. All right, and then Mike Polk Jr., of course, is on a mission. He's going to be hyping fans up for the draft and convince them, those who are from out of town, that Cleveland is cool. We'll be right back.
Hi, we are talking about swag bags for media and VIPs today. My one light's not on. I know, but he made it sound like they were for people, but they're not. Okay.
Hey, how we sounding there, Al? Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Mike. I'm down here. Got the stadium behind me. Pretty good vibe. Bunch of empty picnic tables. Looks like a Berea rib cook-off. Cool. Yep. Go.
Yeah, Al, you got me okay? All right, I appreciate you checking.
Matt Wintz is joining us now. Clouds are here, still kind of warm, definitely feeling very humid out there. It does not last long, though, and the problem is, once we finally make the change, that means we're probably going to get some rain and rumbles in here, too, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely, Betsy. You know, we were looking at the latest model runs, the latest guidance in our forecasts, and it looks like tonight's going to be a soaker area-wide, and tomorrow as well, but hopefully we can get things out of the way. We need the rain. We've been talking about that for weeks. You know it's been a dry spring out there, so this is all, despite the timing of it, going to be some welcome rainfall, especially the layer of pollen on things right now. I don't know if you've been sniffling and sneezing, but the dry air has wreaked havoc on area allergies. Temperatures, though, you know it's mild outside. Another nice start. We only got down to the mid-60s for most locations this morning, so it was a nice springboard with those temps. A couple cooler spots out there where we've seen some of the rain. But the dew point, that's the measure of how much moisture that atmosphere is holding right now, or bottom line, how humid it is. When it gets up into the 60s, that's when you start to feel the air. And you're feeling the humidity area-wide right now. That's going to continue through the overnight hours. That humidity will gradually relax as we go throughout the daytime tomorrow. We've had a couple downpours out towards Ashtabula County. Those are since out in Pennsylvania right now. Still watching a couple storms to the very extreme southern half of our viewing area, down towards Tuscarawas counties, down towards the south. A couple lightning strikes there heading towards the Westchester area. We have had some hail with that as well. Pretty good hail cores. We got back towards Newcomerstown. That's heading out of the viewing area here. And then the next couple minutes. But this is really the area to watch. We've got some heavier rain, nothing severe back towards Indiana, but we'll watch as this heads along that frontal boundary in our area. I think this is going to be responsible for our rain tonight. I overlaid on here the Cape. This is the atmospheric energy, or the juju in the atmosphere, as Betsy likes to say. We've still got some juju back towards Toledo. That's where that boundary is. I wouldn't be surprised if this filled in. We got some rain overnight, and over the next couple hours, and then eventually overnight as well. We've got a lot more of this to come. You can see all the rain stretching back towards areas of New Mexico. This area of low pressure will slowly get some legs on it. And until it does, we've got waves of rainfall here tomorrow, some rumbles of thunder as well. It's going to be a pretty decent rainy day, but again, we need it. Sorry about the timing for all those visitors. National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. Here you go tonight. Yeah, model's pretty consistent in bringing some of that heavier rain around tonight. We'll likely have some thunder with this as well. Not expecting any severe weather tonight, though. We'll lose some of that atmospheric energy, but watch temperatures. So this is tomorrow morning, still in the 60s, still feeling good down towards the south. Meanwhile, we've turned that wind off the lake, so we have already chilled down off towards the north. That chill will continue. We'll hold in the 50s along the lakeshore. We'll have a nice summer day down towards the south, albeit it will be rainy from Akron down towards Dover and Mansfield. By afternoon and evening, though, that's when that low pressure pulls by. That will drag the air down off the lake, so we all start to chill down tomorrow evening. But watch how we might clear out. Hopefully this holds true. That's nice for the draft. Just a couple spotty showers. That's not the washout that we'll likely have earlier in the day. Friday looks good, but that wind will be off the lake. How much rain do we need? 5 inches in Cleveland, over 5 in Mansfield to make up our deficit on the year. I'll look forward into next week. Over the next 7 to 10 days, we'll dry out over the weekend, but watch what happens. This is a very similar setup. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we get just a series of lows in here. That will bring a lot of rain, and look at what the models are saying. We're right in the bullseye, some heavy rain as we get on into next week. So certainly going to make up that drought. Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast. There's the next 2 days. Most of the rain's tomorrow. Saturday looks great. There's your weekend forecast looking good on Sunday with some warmth returning. And then we bring on the rain, Jay. I know you planted a lot in your yard. I know your gardens look great every year. And you could use the water at your house as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I could. My problem is I did some patch seeding. I did it last week. I should have waited until next week because right now it's sitting on bone-dry dirt. Hopefully the rain next week will help.
Yeah, you and me both. It's going to flow into the drains. Yeah,
exactly. All right, Matt, thank you. We'll see you soon. Here's something neat. It's happening in Beechwood and surrounding cities starting tomorrow. It's a virtual scavenger hunt for a very good cause. It's a great way to get outside, possibly earn some cash, too. Beechwood Chamber of Commerce is putting on the event. They're doing it to celebrate 30 years in business. All you need is some creativity, a team, a cell phone, and be eager to race against other teams.
And you're given 30 missions or clues that you have to solve and submit a photo of the answer to that clue. Anybody who sponsored the event, they get to write a clue that highlights their specific business. So those clues or missions will be driving people to the businesses, either their brick and mortar locations or online.
I think it's a great idea. It really is. And they're a lot of fun. I'm sure everybody remembers scavenger hunts from when you were a kid. All you have to do is download this free app. It's called Goose Chase, all one word. It's available for iOS and Android. Take pictures of the answers that you find from the clues and submit them through the app. All kicks off tomorrow. It goes for 72 hours through Sunday. First place will pay $150. Second place will get you a smooth C note. Third place, $50. It's $50 to register, but all the money will go right back into helping the city with their fundraising efforts. Kind of neat.
That's really neat. I love it. Getting around and going to see new places. You just never know what you're going to find. So good luck to all of our scavenger hunters out there. Well, it's time now to see what is clicking in Cleveland. For that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. And Stephanie, something tells me that you're probably going to be talking about the draft.
What tipped you off, Betsy? The fact that it's NFL Draft Eve. Happy NFL Draft Eve to everybody, to you and to everyone at home. And everyone in the city is hyped, and that includes our Cleveland Browns, who released this hype video.
Welcome to Cleveland, home of the 2021 Draft.
With the first pick, the Cleveland Browns select. He's got it! Touchdown! And here comes Chubb. He
Bills. And we know that voice. That's the voice of the Browns, our own Jim Donovan. You can watch the rest of the Browns hype video, which is absolutely worth it, on WKYC.com. And we have a sneak peek at what is in those 2021 NFL Draft swag bags thanks to ESPN's Adam Schefter sharing his on Instagram. This thing is full of the Cleveland staples that everyone loves. It's got some of our area's finest wines from both Gervasi and Chateau Huff vineyards. And for beer lovers, Great Lakes Brewing Company has tossed in its Hazecraft Hazy IPA. After all that, of course, you need to hydrate, so Destination Cleveland added a signature script Cleveland water bottle. And for those late night snacks, it's got the goods from Back Attack Snacks, Campbell's Sweets Factory, and the Cleveland Chocolate Company. There's also a candle in there from the Cleveland Candle Company to help you wind down after everything, Jay and Betsy. Such a great representation of our city. I would add one more thing though. I would add a gift card to Phoenix Coffee Company so everyone can try that amazing honey latte. So good. What about you guys? What would you add?
I took this very seriously. Can I go first? Of course you can. Okay, so here, they're all going to be sports fans, right? So I want something from all of the last 5 decades in there. For the 80s, I'm going to have a Joe Charbonneau baseball card and a Bernie Kosar wig, perm wig, you know, that old brown curly hair. From the 70s, an Olds, Ohio Cardiac Kids commemorative cup. You remember those? 90s, a Cavs poster featuring Mark Price and Brad Doherty. From the thousands, a Jim Thome bobblehead. And from the 10s, a 2016 Cavs championship replica ring. That's my swag bag.
I was going to say a T-shirt because here in Cleveland, we love T-shirts. Like the Cleveland, this is Cleveland. Cleveland is amazing, whatever. You see Cleveland T-shirts all over the country.
We have our T-shirt industry.
We do. But your stuff is good too, Jay.
That's what I would want in a swag bag as a Cleveland sports
I want
fan.
your swag bag.
I want that swag bag.
Exactly.
Thanks, Steph. I really took that seriously.
Yes, you did.
Still ahead on What's New, our Mike Polk Jr. is very excited for the draft. He's going to make a stop downtown and see how much fans know about the league.
Then some very talented 4th graders made this beautiful mural. We talked to them and show us something good about how they did it and which Browns player they want to see it.
Dude, Billy Moe looked terrible.
Well, even though the Browns don't own the top overall pick, Cleveland is still buzzing with anticipation for the upcoming NFL draft. It all officially kicks off tomorrow. We've seen many fans out and about exploring our downtown this week, so naturally, our Mike Polk Jr. wanted to welcome them to our great city in the way that only he can. Appropriately, he used a little football trivia.
Well, we are in the throes of NFL Draft Week here in Cleveland. It's very exciting. I'm acting as a Cleveland ambassador, unofficial. Just printed this out at home myself. But I just want us to put our best foot forward as a city for people. So I'm located right here by these big football helmets representing every team, which is neat. But all they are is just helmets. I thought I'd try to add to the experience for these folks by just giving them some information about the different teams.
Amongst the list of minority owners for the Dolphins are Jennifer Lopez, Gloria Estefan, and Emilio Estevez.
I want the experience for people who are visiting from out of town to be great. And I want them to feel like Cleveland was welcoming and helpful.
Did you guys know that Carl Weathers played for the Raiders in the early 1970s?
I want people to leave here having said, everybody in Cleveland was so cool and helpful. What a great time. Let's go back and spend money there again sometime. That's my goal.
Jim Brown was invited to play in every Pro Bowl every year he ever played. I think that deserves some applause. Right? All right, never mind.
This is kind of what it's all about, not only being downtown, but learning more about football.
The 1932 Chicago Bears gave up a total of 2 points in their first 4 games. Pretty good, right, guys?
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions are one of 2 teams to go 0-16 in NFL history. The other one is the Cleveland Browns. Hey. I'm not happy about it.
That's the thing. Every one of these franchises has their own interesting history and fun trivia facts, except Jacksonville. There's nothing interesting about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The 1991 Falcons chose MC Hammer's Too Legit to Quit as their pump-up song. Hey, you remember it, see? You could see why they would be excited about it.
Not everybody is interested in hearing my trivia facts, I found, but you're going to have some of that.
Well, I'll tell you some trivia about the Eagles if you wait. All right, I guess I'll just...
Ideally, we want these people to come back. We want them to say, wow, that was a great experience in Cleveland. Not only did I have a nice time, but I got to see a bunch of helmets. A guy told me some facts about the Colts.
Here we go, Brownies, here we go. Here we go, Brownies, here we go. That's what I'm talking about.
We just need to be as welcoming as possible to these people while they're here because, frankly, we need their money.
I have some interesting trivia about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were the first team to introduce cheerleaders in 1961. It lasted until 1969 when they realized that they couldn't find 6 attractive women in Pittsburgh anymore.
Hope you're enjoying Draft Week, everybody. This is Mike representing my city, whether they want me to or not, for 3 News. Jay, Betsy, just so you know, just so you get an idea of how fast things are moving down here, we taped that where those helmets were just yesterday, and all of those helmets are now gone. They've moved them to somewhere else, some other magical place. I assume because they know there's going to be a bunch of people down here soon, they don't want them vandalizing the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers helmets, guys.
Actually, they moved them because there were a lot of complaints of somebody yelling at all of the fans that were assembling near the helmets. They didn't want that to continue for another day.
That's weird.
I don't know who
well,
that
these
was.
kind of events do bring out all the crazies, Jay. Who knows who that could have been?
Hello?
Oh, there's a call coming in.
Pittsburgh? Oh, females from Pittsburgh. No, you've got the wrong number. You want Mike Polk's number for that. Yeah. Okay, have a good day.
Send him my way. Bring the heat, Pittsburgh. Bring the heat. This is our weekend.
All right, Mike. Well, I have a feeling you are going to be taking in the sights and sounds of the draft over the next couple of days, so be careful and keep inviting people to enjoy Cleveland. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Mike.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
All right, still ahead on What's New, we talk about one talented group of local kids who created this mural, who they really want to see it, and how it all came together. That's coming up.
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. We were just one day away from the start of the NFL draft here in Cleveland. The stage is set. At the stage of the Holmes County Fair is set.
Interesting, huh? Hey, mic check. Al, I'm sorry I missed you earlier. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Laura Queso's mic. Sure.
Hello, Monica. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello, hello.
Took them like, whatever. Year and a half, 2 years. They put that thing together. Check 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Mic check, it's Romney, and it's almost 6 o'clock. It's my Friday. I'm hungry. I'm eating out somewhere.
Okay, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Al. Check 1, 2, 3. Brandon's microphone. We're talking about Lake.
Today's show is something good comes from Independence, where some fourth graders at the primary school there teamed up to make a Cleveland Browns mural. You see head coach Kevin Stefanski, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, and Myles Garrett pictured there. But we spoke to one of the kids who made the mural and his art teacher about this cool project.
The mural is 84 pieces, so we had just about 75 students or so participate with this project. Do you have anybody that you really want to see the mural?
Yeah, I wish that like Baker Mayfield or like one of those people can come see it.
The mural's 18 feet by 10 feet. Took them about 3 weeks to make. Betsy, the mural will be featured at an art show that's happening next month at the school, but everyone involved is trying to find a way to get it showcased downtown for the draft. I think that'd be a great idea.
If not for the draft, even just for the home opener for the Browns.
Right?
What a beautiful piece of art.
Well done. Congratulations, kids. Even if Baker doesn't see it, he would love it.
He's missing out.
We're out of time. Back tomorrow at 5, and we invite you to join us then.
Up next is Russ and Laura with What Matters Most.
Now at 6, racist rant. The city of Stow tonight responding to an attack on a black woman by a resident who now faces charges. Also, NFL draft experience. We get our first look at what fans will get to do downtown over the next 3 days. Safety protocols, the rules in place that have the NFL and the city of Cleveland saying they're ready for thousands to see the draft live in a partially vaccinated world. And announcing the pick.
I'm not going to let nervousness get to me at the end of the day.
The Browns High School Coach of the Year talks about his excitement leading up to his chance to announce the team selection.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
We are just one day away from the start of the NFL draft here in Cleveland. You see it there, the stage is set. All we need now are the fans, the league, and those future players. Thanks for being with us. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Laura Queso. We have team coverage tonight on the eve of the draft. Will Ewick has an inside look at what fans can expect the next 3 days. Monica Robbins explains the COVID safety protocols in place. And Brandon Simmons caught up with the local draft pick announcer.
Let's begin with Will, who has a look at what is being called the NFL experience. Will, good evening.
The most successful drafts that we have are when the stage and the experience are together in the